Of U.S. lawmakers met with Chinese Defense Minister Dong Jun on today in the first House of Representatives visit to Beijing in 6 years. These talks are aimed at bolstering exchanges, including military-to-military communication. The bipartisan delegation was led by Democratic U.S. Representative Adam Smith, the current top Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee that oversees the U.S. Defense Department and armed forces. According to China's state-run news agency, Dong has urged the lawmakers to eliminate interfering and restrictive factors and adopt constructive and pragmatic measures to help improve military-to-military relations and bilateral ties. Let's listen in.
Better lines of communication between our two countries, in general, in particular, between our two defense communities. We are the first delegation from the United States House of Representatives since 2019, and we feel strongly that there should be more frequent visits in the robust conversation. We want to open up the lines of communication.
在当前中美关系这个大的背景下，你们的来访体现了这张中美之间的交流，应该说这是有识之士的正确决定。
Now for this discussion, we are joined by Andrew K.B. Long. He's a China strategist, joins us live from Hong Kong. Thank you very much, Andrew, for joining us again. Good to see you. Now, what role could renewed military-to-military communication between the U.S. and China play in reducing the risk of conflict in sensitive regions like South China Sea or Taiwan Strait?
Well, of course, the Trump administration is unlikely to let up on its countermeasures to contain and confront China militarily, ideologically, technologically, and on trade, and on all fronts, in fact, because China has been perceived as an existential threat to American dominance or influence in the world, particularly in the Asia-Pacific. The recent display of China's advanced armament, including intercontinental hypersonic missiles, which are capable of multi-warhead, separately navigable re-entry vehicles that can circumnavigate the group, and also hypersonic mid-range missiles that can threaten aircraft carriers, as well as advanced drones and sixth-generation fighter jets. And all these are ringing alarm bells in the Pentagon in case that any kind of wrongly calculated move could push the two countries into unwinnable wars on both sides. So I think that this is the reason why the military has starting to reopen a much closer dialogue to reach at least understanding on the modus operandi, particularly, as you mentioned, in the South China Sea, because in the South China Sea, lots of American assets in the first island chain center in Okinawa, the second island chain center in Guam, and then you have the Quad with Australia and Japan, with the nuclear submarine deals with the United Kingdom as well, and of course you have the closer military alliance between Japan and South Korea, not to mention the Philippines. So and then of course the Taiwan Strait. So there are lots of fresh points, potential fresh points, which would China's latest display of its military capabilities makes these fresh points much more risky and dangerous. Hence, the need to reach some sort of an understanding on both sides.
Right. With that, I would like to thank Andrew K.B. Long for joining us and sharing that insight.